And joining me right now is the ambassador from Ukraine, Ambassador Oksana Markarova. Ambassador, thank you very much for being with us. Let's talk about this a year in. What are the prospects of a counteroffensive that can push Russia back to what it originally took a year ago now?
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for keeping an eye on everything that happens in Ukraine, as it is important for all of us. We have already retook 50% of what Russia occupied at the beginning of this. And we are able to do more, and we need to do more. Because on all these territories which are controlled by Russians, Ukrainian people are suffering. People are being killed, women are being raped, children are being abducted to Russia. So we are ready since last year to go on this major counteroffensive. And as soon as we have enough capabilities, enough weapons, believe me, nobody will stop Ukrainians.
I know that President Zelensky has been pushing for the F-16s. The U.S. and some NATO allies have said that they are not the ideal weapons for this current counteroffensive, the ground war, the tanks that you do need. How important are the F-16s to you?
Everything is important. So we are discussing all capabilities with our partners. Of course, air defense is still a big priority. Artillery is still a big priority. Everything is the priority, including all the air capabilities, whether it's F-16 or some others. So we are discussing everything because we are against an enemy which is so much bigger. Unmotivated, no red lines, very immoral, but really large in numbers. So we need all the capabilities, but you know, I'm sure that we will see more capabilities on the battlefield, hopefully faster.
How frustrating is it that you finally got an agreement for the tanks, yet you're not getting the numbers of those Leopard tanks, those German-made tanks that we all thought you were going to be getting? What's happening with the supply chain on that from European countries?
You know, as you rightfully pointed, all of us, all peaceful countries, were not prepared for war. And as we learned during this year, not only tanks, but there are so many other capabilities which we thought we had in numbers, that they are not there. But again, it's not a reason for frustration for us. It's a task. We are in this existential war already. As we say, we crossed that bridge. We know what we have to do, and we'll work tirelessly with our friends and allies. And really big thanks to the U.S., because this week, not only we're getting from the last week more weapons following historic visit of President Biden, but also U.S. has started disbursing budget aid to Ukraine, which is very important. And the level of transparency and accountability and oversight is unprecedented. I can tell you, as the former Minister of Finance, it's all out there. We're reporting it all, but it's very vital for us to receive this aid so that we can also, in addition to fighting on the front line, can sustain life in Ukraine.
And our Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, was just there, which was a significant indication of support and concern and commitment. Let me ask you about China, because Secretary Blinken, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan have both warned China and said that China is considering doing something they have not done, which is to send weapons, lethal aid to Russia, which would help Putin and could be a game changer. President Zelensky has said that he wants to meet with President Xi. Is that on the horizon?
Well, I don't know, but we clearly are united with the United States in a strong messages to everyone not to do what Iran and Belarus is doing, not to help the war criminals, Russian war criminals who will end up on the bench either in The Hague or any other place. So we really hope that all countries, not only the countries that support us from the beginning of this, but everyone who believes in UN statute, everyone who says that sovereignty and territorial integrity is important for them, cannot help a country that brutally violated sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine.
How concerning would it be if China, with all of its capability and weapons, a superpower, helped bail out Vladimir Putin, who has been losing on the battlefield because of this extraordinary Ukrainian resolve and commitment?
It would be concerning, and we really hope that, nobody will be helping Russia in this. But yet, a year ago, we all thought that Russia had the second largest army and capabilities, but we see when people are fighting for their homes, like Ukrainians, when people are fighting for the loved ones, when people are fighting for their freedom, and when we are supported by everyone, and again, all the people, including American people, who have this fight in them, who believe in the same values, we can win, and we must win this war.
You spoke of war crimes. I'm thinking of the thousands of children, you referred to them, who've been kidnapped, taken from their homes, taken to Russian-held territory or to Russia itself, and gone to so-called re-education camps. This is cultural genocide.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is, you know, a continuation of what Russia has been doing from February 24th, attacking our museums, attacking universities, attacking civilians. It is a genocide against Ukrainian culture and Ukrainian people. And what they do to children is, you know, is horrific. This is a war crime. Every child that has been either put into this, whatever they call it, you know, it's on the uncontrolled territories, or deported, because this is what it is, forcefully deported and kidnapped to Russia and put for a speedy adoption. This cannot be forgotten, this cannot be forgiven, and we will work even after we win until we get every child back and until everyone is punished for this.
And you know, finally, the American people. They've shown great support so far. I was in this wonderful community in Chicago, Ukrainian Village, with this church school, the St. Nicholas Cathedral School. They've embraced so many families, mostly women and children whose husbands are fighting back home. What can you say to these extraordinarily brave refugees here about the chances they will be reunited with their husbands, their families, their homeland?
Well, to Ukrainians, I want to say, you know, stay strong, learn languages, you know, be of use here while you are here, and get ready to go back home, because the embassy is here to help you. But to all the Americans, big thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. You know, during this year, we clearly saw that we have a strategic, not partner, ally, but friend, number one. And we together have to stay the course, and we together have to win for the sake of freedom.
Ambassador Makarova, thank you so much.